Frank, we view Brock Boeser a certain way here in Vancouver. We've seen him kind of be the first shining light as this team started to rebuild away from the Sedins. Obviously, he's had some up and downs here in Vancouver. Obviously, what's the view outside of the market on what this player can be, and if teams are actually going to be actively going after him in the trade market?
Well, the view is that he's someone that clearly has skill. And what's been enlightening to me has been the point production this year, not so much the goal scoring. Like, he's not been known as someone that's a facilitator who can pile up points and assists. That has sort of, opened my eyes. And as much as you might want to knock Brock Boeser for the scoring falling off, and we know what is more important, the goals or assists, when looking at his game, he's still on pace for like 60 plus points. And his value is a little bit out of whack relative to his contract, but not in a hugely significant way. The thing is, teams are looking for scoring wingers that are going to be finishers. And that's the thing, is where is that part of Brock Boeser's game? Will it come back with a change of scenery? He's still in that sort of, prime territory in terms of his age. And I think everyone's, in his camp, even the Canucks are like desperate for this change of scenery to see what happens. So I reported, I guess it was like 10 days ago now, that the Canucks are willing to retain. It's not much, but I think if they're willing to chew up $1 million, that would go a long way in terms of making a transaction happen.
Similarly, along those veins, with the Canucks' sort of glut of wingers making, a decent chunk of change against the cap, there's Connor Garland. We haven't really heard a lot about him in a lot of the lead up to this deadline and his sort of future. Is he the sort of player that you look at and say, like how is he perceived around the league? Would the Canucks be looking to move him if there was a team that was interested? I'm just kind of curious how you view Garland's future with this club.
I think it's one of those deals, not really all that unlike Tyler Myers, in that it feels like the second he put pen to paper, that for whatever reason, he sort of felt like the odd man out. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's a culture thing, or if it's just something that he never really quite felt comfortable. And I know that he talked to you guys at The Athletic about that last season, of like just how difficult that was stepping in and trying to find that comfort. Similar to Brock, there hasn't been a lot of fanfare, but by and large, like, Connor Garland kind of lived up to his contract last year. Actually, he still finished with 52 points. And if you subscribe to the age-old GM scale of 10 points equals 1 million, well, Connor Garland at 4, 9, whatever is like right in that wheelhouse. So I perceive Connor Garland as someone that teams are curious about, not burning down to get. But he's someone that works and competes. And I think there's a real appreciation factor from Rick Tocchet, the guy who kind of helped make him in Arizona and gave him that chance. And where does that lead in terms of, potentially putting him in a spotlight to do more? I haven't watched closely enough. You guys could tell me of what that's been like under Tocchet to this point.